Hey, what's up guys? Tyler here with Secure Team. We have a lot to talk about today. In fact, I don't even think I'm going to be able to get it all in this video. So I'm going to be working on a second video later tonight when everyone's asleep, because that is when I like to work. Insomnia is my life, but you guys already knew that. So let's get to the main topic of today's video. Something big. And despite what NASA and some other people are calling it, we don't have any actual proof of what it is yet, of what they are calling a golf cart-sized meteorite that has just crashed down into the ocean and that they are now hunting for, and NASA has gotten involved. So according to this report, on July 2nd, the exploration vessel Nautilus will attempt to locate and recover fragments of a, quote, rare large meteorite fall that was recently observed in NOAA's Olympic Coast National Marine Sanctuary off the coast of Washington. Residents of Ocean Shores, Washington, were startled on the evening of March 7th when a bright flash lit up the sky and a tremendous boom rattled the sleepy seaside town. A local resident by the name of Brittany Bryson told the Seattle Times, quote, "We all thought it was a spaceship." So according to scientists and NASA, as well as the Smithsonian, who have now gotten involved, well, it wasn't a spaceship, but it was definitely a visitor from outer space. From analysis of radar signals, they have concluded that it was a meteorite about the size of a golf cart that broke apart and splashed down into the ocean about 16 miles off the coast. Approximately 2 tons of fragments are likely scattered over a half-mile of seafloor. And this object, again, they're saying it's a meteorite, but, there's a lot of speculation that the only reason that they have actually had to come out and admit, or at least come up with a cover story of what this could be, is because it was too big of an event and too many people of the public saw it happen. And of course, we had the massive flash of light, houses rumbling, shaking. We've done a ton of videos about this. And so they had to come out and admit that something happened off the coast. And it's also been said that whatever this object was, again, assuming it's a meteor, that it is easily the biggest recorded meteor fall in the United States in 21 years. Now, some of the debris that survived the plunge, they're saying, may be as large as a brick, and scientists want to retrieve as much as they can for further study. The Nautilus is the flagship of the Ocean Exploration Trust, which is a non-profit group founded by explorer Robert Ballard. He's been joined by scientists from the University of Washington, the Olympic Coast National Marine Sanctuary, and NASA. And they are going to be using remote-operated submarines to survey the area to try to find fragments of this thing. Now here's something else interesting. The debris field is situated near an underwater canyon, about 400 feet deep. And the ship that they're sending out there, the Nautilus, also includes a high-speed satellite connection, which will be used to transmit video and any other sensor data in real time to the Mission Control Center at the University of Rhode Island. And so a few things about this. The fact that NASA is involved in the operation to locate and recover fragments of just some space rock that splashed into the ocean is kind of suspicious to me. And I've never heard of NASA being so interested in a meteorite like this, and that they're going to such great lengths to basically scour the ocean to find this thing. Something else interesting is the location of where this object, now they're saying it crashed or splashed into the ocean, so we don't know if it actually just fell from the sky. But what we do know is that the general direction and the area that this object was going was into an area of water that contained a deep underwater canyon. And if you watched one of our recent videos this past week, we went into detail about how mysterious our oceans are. How 90% of them have never been explored. We don't know what's down there. We talked about the rising number of unexplained UFO sightings, strange things happening in the water, as well as objects that have been recorded by some very reputable and respected people coming up out of the water, flying towards space, and vice versa. Then you have the people from the seaside town saying that it looked like a spaceship. So Again, we call NASA never a straight answer, because quite indeed, they never do give us a straight answer, and anytime they get involved, and having looked at their track record of deception, it's certainly smart to keep an eye on this and to not just swallow everything that they're feeding to the public whole. So, I mean, we'll definitely keep you guys up to date with updates. The object, again, as big as a golf cart, and that's pretty big. You're seeing a golf cart here. But one thing's for sure, they are very, very interested in this object. We'll have more updates coming your way. Now, in other space news, the image that you're seeing here is of something that we have never before seen, or at least captured on a photograph, and that is the very first confirmed image of a newborn planet that is being formed. So this image here was taken from the European Southern Observatory's Very Large Telescope, is what it's called, in the first clear image of a planet caught in the act of formation. And this is a moment of birth, you could call it, that has previously proved elusive, but astronomers have now found it in this startling snapshot, which shows this sort of bright blob along with an object here, which is the planet, sort of traveling and passing through the dust and gas surrounding a young star known as PDS 70, which is thought to be around 370 light years from Earth. And so this black circle that you're seeing in the center of the image, that is actually a filter to block out the light of the star. So the star is behind that black circle, and the planet is right here off to the right. It's that little glowing orb. And so the planet, which they're saying at this point is a gas giant similar to Jupiter, is about as far from its star as Uranus is from our sun, with further analysis revealing that it appears to have a cloudy atmosphere and a surface temperature of around 1,000 degrees Celsius. Now, the image that you're seeing here, while not from this new planet, it has just been released by the European Southern Observatory of yet another new so-called planetary nursery, snapped by the ALMA. And so what we're seeing here is a young star by the name of MWC 758, that is currently approaching adulthood and surrounded by these irregular rings of cosmic dust. Now, it's noted here that both the inner and outer rings contain these sort of little clumps of yellow bumps, which may hint at the presence of unseen planets that are also forming or that have already been formed around this star. So, I mean, it truly is amazing. Two new sets of photos here, but one in particular capturing an actual planet that is being formed. Amazing stuff. It truly is a sight to see. So tell me what you guys think down below. And lastly today, before we go, a couple of interesting things to show you guys. The pic that you're seeing here, well, that's of me sitting at my laptop, and you'll notice in my lap, we have a new friend. This is Benny. And there's a very interesting story behind why he is sitting on my lap and why he has become my new little buddy and video editing partner, because he just sits here in my lap the whole time that I'm working on a new video. And well, about a week ago, I had heard outside of my house the cries of a baby kitten. And I didn't know where it was coming from, but I remember the few times during the day that I had gone out to the car or gone somewhere, anytime I would be outside, I would hear these distant cries of something. You know, I could definitely tell eventually it was a kitten, but I didn't know where it was. And we live out here in the country, so we have a problem with a lot of stray kittens. And so eventually nightfall had come. It was about midnight, maybe 1 in the morning, when I had gone out to my car to get something out, and sure enough, I heard this sound again. So I said, you know what, I'm going to go inside, get the flashlight, and see if I can find it. I thought that it had maybe been a cat down in the sewer, because we have a sewer right on the edge of the curb. You know, that something may be trapped down there. I came out with the flashlight, ran across the street, flashed it down into the sewer, trying to figure out if it was down there, when suddenly I heard the sound again, and it was very close. So I immediately thought, oh no, it's down in the sewer. I'm looking with the flashlight, and then suddenly I heard it again, but the sound of this little squeak, you know, of the kitten was, or seemed to be above my head, which is extremely strange because I looked up and there's nothing there. However, near the curb was a tree, And so just by chance, I walked over to the tree, shined the flashlight up into it, and sure enough, the very first spot that I shined this flashlight revealed this beautiful blue-haired baby kitten trapped up on a very high branch and who had obviously been there all day crying for someone to come and save him. And it was just, I gotta tell you, the moment that my flashlight hit this kitten and I looked up at it, the kitten was already hanging onto the branch with one paw and reaching out to me with the other. No joke. This cat had been trying to get my attention all day and was so happy that I had found him that, having never seen me before, was reaching out for me as if to say, please come and pick me up out of this tree. So I did. He came right to me, into my arms. He was so happy. Again, he is a stray. There are no owners for him. We checked all around the neighborhood, and well, he's my new buddy, and he could not be more thankful. I don't think I've ever had such a wonderful, sweet kitten, who, again, just by chance, I discovered trapped up in this tree, and he's my buddy now. So, again, his name is Benny, and he has become the new ruler over Secure Team. So, you got a problem, you go to him. Alright, so thank you guys for stopping by today. Be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, click that bell because I've got much more coming. I hope you guys all have a great 4th of July. I just earlier today went and bought a trunk load of fireworks. We're going to be setting them off tonight, give the neighborhood a really nice show. So you guys be safe out there, have fun, and I will see you all back in just a bit.